Bonjour Julian, votre single Wonder Why marche évidemment très très bien. C'est un mélange des influences des années 70 jusqu'à des années 2000. Vous avez pioché votre influence depuis votre enfance, depuis votre plus tendre enfance en fait.
Yeah, of course, and I think I made an album that just naturally kind of came out just because of the things I was listening to as a kid growing up, you know. And I listened to the Beatles and Elton John, and then as a teenager, Outkast and Justin Timberlake and people like that. So when I started to make my own music, I just naturally leaned towards making music that sounded like the music I listened to as a kid.
Ça fait quoi d'entendre votre musique de partout, sur les radios, dans les commerces, etc.
It's great, you know. It's a great feeling to move country to country and hear that my music has been played on the radio and people are aware of a song that, you know, specifically Wonder Why, which I wrote when I was just kind of 17. It's a kind of it's surreal to feel that, and now to have just been mastering and working on the kind of video for my first single from my second album. It's an exciting prospect to know that, you know, this is a song that will be played on the radio again and reach hopefully millions of people. And that always excites me, and just, you know, music that you make that affects people by them listening to it on the way to work, or, you know, when they're at home, or if they're out at a party with friends, is always a very exciting prospect for anyone.
Alors justement, bientôt un deuxième album, il va sortir quand?
The new album will be out this summer. The first single goes out in a month, so I'm very excited.
Ce sera les mêmes influences, pareil
Same influences, of course, because I'll never lose those influences. But I've evolved a lot as an artist, and I've, you know, I wrote my first album between 17 and 19. I wrote this album as a 20. I was 22, so I'm a lot older. I'm influenced by a lot more music now, from R&B to dance, to hip-hop, to rock. So there's more influences on this album that wouldn't have been found on the first record.
Comment vous expliquez que les grands noms de la musique internationale veulent travailler avec vous? Qu'est-ce que vous avez en plus des autres?
Yeah, it's always an honor to work with people who are internationally known. James, who's a friend of mine, who we met on very kind of mutual grounds. We met on holiday in Ibiza. We didn't expect to have a friendship and then tour with each other. It was just very natural. But Mark was someone who I really respected and looked up to, and he enjoyed what I did and respected my music. And at 18, that was a crazy thing to be on tour with him around Europe. So it's always a kind of crazy. It's a fantasy, you know, and I was lucky enough to live it.
Alors vous êtes londonien, vous avez joué en Amérique, vous avez joué un petit peu de partout en Europe, mais vous avez vraiment un succès en France. Vous avez une histoire particulière avec la France?
I don't have a particular history with France in my family. I'm not French in any way, and it was one of those things that I had a relationship with a producer here in France who introduced me to a lot of people here, who enabled me to focus on France as a country. And we worked heavily in France. The music worked very well here. People ask me this question all the time, especially when I'm in London: why is your music so successful in France? And I guess it's French public latch on to certain artists. There's artists that are very kind of peculiar, artists from Japan or Germany, or bands that just suddenly, for some reason, countries kind of call their own, and France seems to be that country for me, and I'm happy with that. So.
Le 6 mars, vous êtes à l'Olympia. Du coup, pour vous, ça prend une importance encore un peu plus haute de faire l'Olympia?
Yes, I know this is a very historical venue for the French people, and a lot of artists that I love and respect have played there, and it's a very big honour for me to be playing there next week, and I'm excited about it. And we just excited to be presenting my new album, my second album, to the French public first. They'd be the first people to hear it. The first single, Generation X, doesn't actually hit radio for another 2 weeks after the Olympia, so the French public tonight in Lyon and in 2 weeks will be the first to hear the new album. So.
C'est un vrai cadeau que vous faites au public français.
Exactly, it's a present from me to the French.
Votre rêve, c'est de vendre des albums, de faire des scènes. Vous n'êtes pas si loin de votre rêve?
I don't know if I'm close right now. I think that the first album reached a level that I was, proud of, and we reached things that I was happy with. But I'm very ambitious, and I have recorded a new album that I hope will reach where I really want to go, and it's not so much playing to thousands and thousands of people, and it's more just having music that really connects with different cultures and countries. I think that's one thing I'm very in awe of with James Blunt, is that he plays in every single country of the world, and he goes on tour for 2 years, and I'm always jealous of him when we talk about that. So that's, I think, probably my biggest dream is not the amount of people a night you play to, it's more the amount of countries and cities and different cultures that you manage to reach with music that you've written yourself. So.
Vous allez venir jouer à Ardèche à Luna Festival, ça sera le 22 juin, là où a joué Joe Cocker l'an dernier, devant 20 000 personnes. Un festival en plein air, ça vous inspire quoi?
Festival atmosphere is amazing, and we played a lot of festivals last year, and of course this festival we're especially looking forward to in June. It's the first festival I think we play of the year, and we're all excited about it, and it should be fun. I mean, the Cranberries, of course, are a very iconic group for the British people, especially, and of course Johnny Halliday, I know, is a very big name here in France, and he works with my manager, so he's a great guy and someone that I admire and respect a lot. So. Rendez-vous, l'Ardèche à Luna Festival, le 22 juin.